Hello crafty friends, this is Louise here. Today we are going to be doing how did they do that? So this is the Close to My Heart current catalogue for April to June 2023, and on page 57 we have these two beautiful cards here, and they're made from this embossing folder and two stencils, so that all comes together. So let's get to it. The inks we'll be using are Mink, Wisteria, Mulberry and Seabrook. Going to use some platinum stickles, white gel pen, a Le Pen black, gold shimmer brush and a gold paint marker, and we'll need blending brushes and some sponge daubers. For this I've already done this in white embossing powder. So I have run this through the embossing folder. It has two stencils. So we're going to line this up. So that's quite easy because you can feel the indentations there. Then tape it down. And I'm going to start with the mulberry ink, and I'm going to tap it off just to get the bulk of the ink off, and I'm just going to do the large flowers in the butterflies in the mulberry. Tapping it off just stops you from getting that harsh mark. I'm just starting out with a really light touch, and then I can go in a little heavier. And I'm deliberately leaving some areas are have a little darker colour, and then some a little lighter, giving it a little bit more realistic look. Now for the smaller flowers, why do I keep saying flowers? The smaller butterflies, I'm going to use a sponge dauber. I'll make some of them lighter than others and some a little darker. Just adds interest to your project. And then these mid-size, these last 3 butterflies, I'll do in wisteria. Going to do it the same way. Start out light and then I can press a little firmer. Okay, so that's the first stencil that we're going to use. So we'll peel this off and bring in the next stencil and lay that over the top. Tape it down. And then going to use mink for this second layer. Start lightly building the colour. You don't need to worry about these because they're covered up, which is what I love about the stencils. Now if you're not sure about how much colour you're getting on there, you can just lift it up. I think that's plenty. Have deeper colour in the centre and then take it, blend it out. Okay, let's have a look. There we have it, and that just gives it a bit more depth to your project in your sponging. So the next thing we're going to do is I'll get the mulberry ink out and I'm just going to use a sponge dauber to go all around the edges. Then we're going to add a line, some dotted lines around the edge. Now I'm just going to freehand mine but if you feel you need to use a ruler, go ahead. Now I'm going to add some sparkle with some gold shimmer brush, and I'm just going to splatter all over. Sorry about that noise, probably shouldn't have used that, so I hope you can see that on camera. Nice bit of sparkle. Clean off this area. That doesn't take too long to dry. Just going to add some highlights with a gel pen. I've used the 0.8. And I'm just going to go around some of these areas here. Okay. Now onto our sentiment. We'll dovetail this. Now this is a piece of rosemary cardstock. And this has been shaken up now, and I'm using the metallic paint marker, and I'm using the 4mm and the beveled edge, and I'm just going to go all around the edge of this piece. That doesn't take too long to dry either. So I'll put that on, and we're almost finished. Bit of foam tape. And I'll just pop that across there. Then we're going to add some stickles, and this is platinum stickles. Just squeeze it out off in case there's air bubbles. Then I'm just going to pop a few randomly around. Okay. And then you set that aside to dry. Love, you might not be able to see it on camera, but in person, the sparkle. So I'll set that aside to dry, and here's this one that I've made earlier, and I've stamped inside and then just done a bit of sponging over the top. That's a retired stamp set, as is this, but everything else I'll list in the description below. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for following me, and if you're new to my channel, if you hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it, and the like button, and it really helps to grow my channel. So for the second card, we've got Seabrook cardstock. So I've gone ahead and embossed it. We're going to use rosemary and mulberry ink and platinum stickles. So for this one, we're just going to use the delicate stencil. And just fill the centers in. But before I do, we are going to do some sanding. So I've just got an old sanding block from my stash. You could use some fine sandpaper from the hardware, an emery board, Close to My Heart cardstock, as you can see, has white core, enabling us to do these treatments to add some variation to our design. Now we can add this stencil. And we'll start with rosemary ink. I love the blending brushes because they give such a lovely soft look to your project. Now I will bring this back in. And go and do some of these smaller flowers. Why do I keep calling them flowers? Butterflies. Okay. No, I'm not going to do any more there. So, what else you can do, I'm going to leave these free, but you can add just turn the stencils and add a few extra butterflies. And we will pop one down here. Okay. So then we will sponge the edges of our Seabrook cardstock with mulberry ink. Clean up our Versamat, and then we will pop it onto a card front with some foam. Now I add a fair bit of foam. That's just me, because I don't really like it dipping. Once it's gone in the post, I like it to arrive the way I sent it. And now we can add some stickles. to jazz it up a bit. Not going to do it on every one of them, just here and there. And we'll leave that to dry. So that is the 2 cards that were in the catalogue. On page 57. So I hope you get a chance to play with those stencils and embossing folder. Been really enjoying with it, and I hope to do another video soon with a few more ideas that you could do with this beautiful embossing folder with matching stencils. Hope you have a great day. See you soon.